back to the channel, and today we're in some Bluebell woods, although I haven't seen that many bluebells yet, but there are some lovely pockets of them, and just trying to capture spring really. So the weather is cloudy with sunny pockets coming through, so the light through the wood is changing quite frequently here. This makes for interesting opportunities, but of course you've got to be in the right place at the right time. I've missed some of the right places and the right time, just setting up, trying to do this vlogging for you, and isn't that just typical? But I'm stood on a path, let me flip that, it's very wet and run through the wood, and when the sun comes out it lights the area further down there. Obviously if the sun's in the right position according to where the clouds are shadowing it, but when we started walking down here, the area right at the end was just bathed in light and the rest of it was more shadow. It was gorgeous. But what I really noticed from the intersection of this path and the other one was these bluebells just here, and further back is a real gorgeous splash of blue for those looking down here, and I thought, well, we'll take a walk down and we'll see what we've got. And I think what I've got's rather nice. Now I always say this, it looks nice in the back of the camera, and I'm going to reserve judgment at this point to know whether or not it looks nice. Let's flip you back. When I get it into the computer and such. Oh, hold on, light, quick. So right down the end there, it's just faded ever so slightly. Right down the end there. Anyways, flip you back. And when I get it back into the computer and start playing with it and post-processing, often I find that what I thought was a nice shot to start with doesn't quite turn out to be as good as I thought. And I'm sure that's the same with everybody. It's got to be. I mean, it can't just happen to me. But it's also one of the things that I find is very important with the video editing, and indeed some of the photo editing. If I stop, I get to a point of thinking, yeah, that's quite nice, and I stop, I go off and I make a cup of tea or I do something else and then come back to it later, and often I take a look at it and think, what the hell were you thinking? That's awful. That happened to you as well? Let us know in the comments. Anyway, here's the image, and I hope you like it. This is one of those shots that I don't think I did very well at. We've got the leading line running through, but a leading line doesn't make a good photo. I think I misfocus on the bluebells. There's no focal point whatsoever of the image, and it's just not up to the kind of standard that I'm producing. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. Further into the woods and sticking on the what I think is the east side, the bluebells are literally, they're just everywhere. Blankets of them. It's gorgeous. Take a look at this. Just a magical carpet of blue. There's a path running through that which adds to a leading line, but the sun keeps changing and lighting that up and creating the shadows and such on it. And there's this viewpoint, I don't know, ladder seated area and such. I've seen them dotted around. I'm not sure what they're for as such, but this is this section is cordoned off with this barrier here. So for obvious reasons, they don't want you in this this section here. It is just it's gorgeous. And indeed, the section that we've just walked through, let's flip that again. So it's just straight down there as well. It's lovely. It's achingly gorgeous. I got a couple of shots earlier, looking through here, just from a kind of vantage point, just down there, looking through using these two trees here for a bit of structure and framing. So I'll show you that now, and I think I'm gonna wait for the sun to come back out here. I've stuck a long lens on this, is a 40 to 150 on a micro four thirds, so the equivalent being 80 to 300 on a full frame, and we'll try and get some images of this sea of blue behind us as well when the sun's just about right on it. Actually, just looking straight through it now, nice long lens. Sun's beginning to come out. Let's get a little closer, because right down the end there, there's an errant branch in the way there. It's kind of messy at this forefront of it. That's a nuisance. But right down the very end, you've got the glade as well, which makes for an interesting shot. It's difficult not to have this errant bit of branch down in the foreground down there. It's a real shame, actually. Oh no, I can't quite get rid of it. Not from there anyway. See if I can get it from over here. Yeah, if I move over here, because I've got to be careful. There's bluebells down here, and I don't want to go stepping on them. Now, I'm shooting this portrait largely because if I go landscape, I don't get the depth of the scene. And I also struggle to get out and keep out that errant branch that just makes the foreground messy. And there's a branch further back as well that's kind of sticking through, which is a bit more awkward. Let's just pull back a bit to make the branch less intrusive. Just catching the steps of that viewing platform there. Difficult to see with so much stuff on screen. Wish there was an option on here that kind of, when you half press the shutter down, it got rid of all the information on screen. Maybe there is somewhere. If anyone knows these Olympus EM1 Mark IIs inside out, please leave me a message down below, because there's so many settings on this, arguably too many to customize, and I often get crap in the frame that I don't want because it's hiding behind some of the camera settings that appear on screen all the time. As much as I love the camera, it's one of my real gripes with it. And I know you can turn it all off, cycle through it with the info button, but well, that's awkward because it'd be nice to just turn it off automatically when you half press the shutter button. Anyway, here's the two shots looking that way and that way. Well, that's our time at Foxley Wood over for today. Sadly, family duty calls and have to get into Norwich for something. I really do hope you've enjoyed these photos. It was a real joy walking through these woods, just strolling, taking photos of these beautiful little spring flowers. If you've enjoyed this, as ever, please click the like button. It does help the channel so much. And share the video, make a comment, basically interact with me in some way. I'd love to hear your views. Thanks very much, and we'll see you on the next one.